Welcome back to the DTF podcast. Here you are with myself, Kirsty, the lovely Amy, Simon and Ellis. What?
We don't get prefixes. We don't get
No, you don't.
adjectives.
Oh, sorry.
We don't get.
So I'm the only lovely one here.
The lovely Amy, Simon and Ellis.
I know that I'm kind of a dick. Right? I get that.
Maybe it was just the lovely Amy, Simon and Ellis.
Good
Okay.
recovery.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Stuck the landing.
Yeah. You're rewinding me like, did not stick. But here we
Devil
are.
are we?
Oh, smash it, mate. How are you?
I mean,
Tired.
yeah. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
everything's
everybody's
kind
tired.
of catching up with me, and I can't speak for everyone else, but everything is catching up with me.
Yes. No, that is
What, being
true.
in a deficit, training more?
The tiredness.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into that.
Okay.
We'll get into that. There was an occurrence.
Oh, okay.
There was what we are referring to as the snackcident.
Okay.
I-
Was it a big snackcident?
It was a large,
Sounds-
vast snackcident.
Sounds like a real
Okay.
big refeed day.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
we'll put We'll put
absolutely.
it in that term.
Yeah, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
We don't need to talk about that right now.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
What do we need to talk about?
Where
Progress?
to start?
Progress? Where to
Progress.
start? I feel like progress is always the best place to start.
Yeah.
That's our hook.
Line and sinker.
Sure.
Well, I for one have had a terrible week this week. Like, week before last was fine. This week, I just wanted to sleep and eat. That's sort of literally all I've done. I'm not going to lie. I went some push-ups, but
Yeah.
that's it.
I did some push-ups, I slept and I ate.
Yeah,
Let's go.
That's where I'm at, but, you know.
So you want to do both steps at hibernation at the same time?
Yes.
Because it's
That's-
normally eating then sleeping. You're like, I'll do both.
It was
Yeah.
literally, yeah. So, but there's always next week and the next couple of weeks. So, you know, we'll just get back on it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Amy
Yeah.
said that because mine has been the exact same.
Yeah.
I think that applies to pretty much all of us. Maybe not Ellis.
I've been energetic. I've been doing stuff, but weight-wise and stuff like that, it's just been consistent. There's been no increase. There's been no decrease. So even though I'm on a calorie deficit, I just haven't lost that weight. So I think it's just the case that I need to be a bit more active in my day-to-day life because my step count is low.
Yeah.
Low. Like even though I'm doing the exercise, like just the general activity throughout the day is very, very non-existent. So that's one thing I need to improve upon.
Yeah, that's the thing, because obviously there's through my work there's a step challenge that's going to be starting tomorrow, and I got Simon and Amy to join up. Ellis was very quiet on the matter.
I'm in.
You are in. Just
Imagine
make sure you
walking.
join the challenge.
I noticed that the other day.
Yes.
So does that work
You
in the
need to
sense
join
of?
the challenge.
So I hit join the challenge. Just put
And
the name of the company in, and it.
Do you want me to do it for you?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Hold on. I will hand you my cellular device, which I think that's the app. And failing that, you can whatever.
It is in fact the app.
Smashing. Yeah. No.
Join
Well,
it.
while I'll vamp. I might as well. So there was
Done.
there was another pound down. Oh, easy. Sick. So there was another pound down last week, circles as on Monday, and then the snackcident occurred.
Was that to celebrate the pound down?
No.
Right. Okay.
The idea was to, be like, oh, cool, you can have a wee little treat. I think I had several.
You didn't eat the whole bag of mini eggs, did you?
No, that survived. That was oddly enough when I first mentioned this to these two.
Yeah.
That was the first thing. Kirsty
Yeah.
was like, "You've eaten the mini eggs, haven't you?" I was like, "No, the mini eggs are fine."
Yeah, so-
Okay.
I did then have to
Okay.
think, what has he recently bought? Because I can't remember if you went and pick a mix protein, didn't you? Or
All
did
right,
you not?
let's play a game. Let's play a game, okay? Because Ellis knows the damage.
I mean, when he told me, I genuinely felt sick after hearing it. I was just like, I'm not
So
surprised.
we're gonna play a game. How large do you think the snackcident was? I want
You want calorie?
calories.
I reckon it was 6,000.
Okay,
I was going to go for 5, but do I go up?
it's entirely up.
Okay, I'll go with 10.
As my man is pointing out, 12,000.
Oh, wow, okay.
On what?
Well,
I'm glad you
Oh,
asked.
okay, here we go.
Oh my god.
All right, so
Fill us in.
we had
this is disgusting, by the
Okay,
way.
so hold on. This is the joy of taking a food diary because you can always see because it's literally 12,000 on the dot as well.
Oh, really?
We have an entire box, a 500-gram box of Frosted Flakes with a protein shake.
Mhm.
We have a lid Lidl. So Lidl were doing like an American week this week,
Yeah.
and they had like these maize snacks, and it was like barbecue curry flavour. So I was like, sure, I'll give those a try. So that was a 175-gram bag.
Was it good?
They were
Mid.
7 out of 10.
Right.
They were okay. The problem is when I have a maize snack.
Let's just clarify. 7 out of 10 is still a pretty good snack.
Oh yeah, it's but it's above average, but it wasn't great.
Yeah.
The problem I had with them, flavour was great, but when I want a maize snack, I want something really crunchy, and they had a bit of give to them. And it's almost stale.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
I see. Okay.
What else was there? Just scrolling through. I'm not necessarily going to go through the day in order. I'm just scrolling. There was 34 slices of Spanish chorizo in 2 bagels, which had butter and mayo on them. There was another entire box of cereal with another protein shake.
What was the cereal?
Sainsbury's triple chocolate granola.
Oh God.
Oh, that does sound good.
It is really good.
Yeah.
It is really good.
I'm seeing a lot of sweetness in this.
There was an entire. There's these like crackers that I really like that Sainsbury's do. Did an entire pack of that with some butter and some raspberry jam. There was a pack of Maryland cookies, and to top it off, and I think this is the point where I kind of knew I had to stop, was there was half a Papa John's pizza and some of their new chicken and cheese garlic herb bite things. The reason it was half a pizza is because I physically could not eat anymore.
Yeah.
What size pizzas did you get?
Large. That's basically everything. So that was an occurrence. That was and that I think brings me on to something I'll talk about later in more detail, but brings us on to binge eating.
Yeah.
But I think we'll delve into that, in a little bit. So yeah, that was that.
That was a day.
That was a day. That was a day.
What prompted said day?
Just when
You're hungry and nothing's filling you up, because that was me.
there's that, and when it rains, it pours.
Yeah.
I mean, it did fill him up, but it was at the end of the day. And
yeah,
Oh.
no.
Even on the end of my day, I was still like, I could eat more, and I was like, we will stop. we have done too much.
Yeah, no. It was one of those things of when it rains, it pours, and it was very much like things were. They started out okay, and then just thing happened. I'm like, do you know what? Fuck this.
there's a lot of it for the fact that it was just there as well. So you
it was accessible.
You walk to the kitchen, you're just like, oh, I've seen this. Oh,
I normally am the kind of person that keeps things in the house very minimal, because then you can't. You have to physically go out of your way to go and get it, and then it becomes a hassle.
Yeah.
Whereas it was just there,
Mm-hmm.
apart from the Papa John's. But obviously that could
That
come
came
to
later.
you.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, that was a thing. But the following 48 hours was even arguably worse. So
You had.
So because of everything in my system, I didn't really sleep the Monday night.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Went and trained on the Tuesday. Totally fine. All good. Obviously no desire to eat because of everything still in my system. And it gets to about 2 o'clock. I'm like, no, I don't feel so good. And I proceed to spend the next 3 hours purging.
Yep.
Not willingly, like this isn't forcing myself. This was my body going, "Hey, friend, we got to balance some levels here." I'm like, "Sick, let's go," literally. So that was like, okay, cool, fine. Did that, and then I just kind of spent the Tuesday evening recovering, taking on board liquids, whatever. Slept better, not great, but better. But woke up on Wednesday morning with a migraine.
Yeah. Well,
So yeah, 48 hours post event, I was not good. That's why Thursday, I think I was like just happy to feel like a human being again.
Yeah.
I was just like, let's go. I wanted to do literally anything. But yeah, so that was that.
Yeah.
Crazy thing as well, to bring the nice little bow tie onto the story. I weighed myself this morning, and I'm a pound lighter than I was on Monday.
I mean, after the purge, I'm not
Yeah.
surprised.
The lack of food in the system is just liquids and the purge.
For health reasons, we don't consent to purging.
Yeah,
We do not.
we do not consent to the purge.
Do not do
We
it.
don't recommend. We do not. No. Just.
So yeah, but also I think it speaks for, hey, if you do a bad, just go back on track with what you were doing, you'll be fine.
Yes. It is basically like restarting your system.
This was a very extreme case of it,
Yeah.
but
Do not recommend.
yeah, don't recommend, wouldn't recommend.
So after your big indulgent
Yes.
What is it like now? Are you like
I'm good.
clean? You're just like, you have
I'm
no
good.
interest of doing it again at the
No, I'm fine.
moment. So
And the things, like I say, I didn't even intend to. Like, this wasn't even like the idea. And I've done this before for ages and ages and ages. The aspect of gets them Monday. If you're down, have a little treat, and then I'm fine. You know, I've been doing it for the whole duration that we've been doing this, and I've been fine. This just wasn't.
it was just
One
a
of those
bad.
days.
It didn't stop.
It was just a
Yeah.
bad Monday, and it just.
I'm with you. You get the days where you're like, nothing is filling me up. I'm just empty, and all you want is like something in us. Everything I say sounds dirty. Just like you just want something in you. I'm like, that's food wise. Not in that way either.
I do have a question. Like, do you ever get days where you're like, I don't know if I'm hungry or horny. I can't tell. Do you ever get days like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I definitely have days like that.
Is that just a woman thing?
No.
We don't know what we
Is it
want,
us?
so we'll just eat
No.
chocolate.
No.
What do I want?
Okay.
A size of pizza or dick?
I know I need something. I don't know what it is.
Is that why we just go towards the chocolate all the
No,
time?
I don't
It just
know,
makes you
but,
feel a
you know.
little bit better. Like, you know what? I'll take this.
Yeah, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a female thing, but it was just like,
I think it
one of
must be
those things.
because I genuinely can't.
Maybe leave in
I
the
can't.
comments, guys, like, if
You're
you
just
get that
so
or not.
frustrated. You're like, I'm just going to food.
Yeah, no, I don't immediately
Not
think.
getting any
I
relaxation.
don't
from it.
immediately, you know, I'm not standing there in my kitchen going, what will make me feel better, meat or rubbing one out? Like, I just.
Both the same thing.
Oh, dear.
What if I used the meat?
Oh, no,
Whoa.
Because then you've got a bagel.
The fact is, have you ever seen like videos
No,
on
don't
TikTok
ruin a
where they
bagel.
make
Do not ruin
food
bagels
look
for me.
really suggestive?
Yeah.
Like when you got the chicken breast and it looks like
Oh, yeah. Oh,
it's
yeah.
just like and
Yeah.
the man starts to butterfly his chicken. He's like,
The
oh,
guy-
Yeah.
oh.
Do you know the funny thing? There is the guy on TikTok that does things with food, and I am sitting there going, oh my god. Showed it to someone. He went, oh, it gives you the recipe in the thing. I went, there's a recipe.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not what I'm paying attention to.
There was a recipe. I mean,
Yeah.
don't get me
I
wrong.
went back and checked other videos. He has a recipe on all of them. I was like, oh,
Great content.
fantastic.
Appeals to
I am not.
a market.
Yeah, I'm not watching it for the ingredients list though.
Well, neither was
There's-
I. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's an attractive guy doing suggestive things with food, but I just happened to
Right.
notice there was a recipe.
When he's whisking those eggs, I'm like, whoa.
So I pay attention to detail.
It was detail.
There was a lot of detail.
A lot of detail.
Oh dear. So yeah, we all get days where we just eat food because it's there. I think Wednesday was my day. Anything chocolate that was in sight I ate, and then for the next couple of days I didn't want anything to do with sugar. I was like, that was too much, and I just didn't touch it.
No, I always want. I would say I always want sugar. However, I recently dropped from drinking full fat Coke to Diet Coke, and Friday I ended up with about 2.5 hours of sleep total in the night. Had my first can of full fat Coke that I've had in weeks since we started doing this. I was itchy and I was just like, I was irritated and I couldn't. I had to move. I didn't feel right. So now I'm like, great. Okay, no, we can't do this. Excellent.
That'll happen.
No more full fat.
I remember for the first time in absolutely ages. I mean, this was still a few years ago now, but it was when I made a concerted effort to take added sugar out of my diet, and then making a concerted effort to take added sugar out of my diet, and I drank full sugar. I'm a Pepsi guy over a Coke guy, and I drank this Pepsi, and I'm like sitting there like my teeth feel weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get that furry fuzziness.
Yeah, I was just there like
No.
I don't like this.
No.
I think at the moment I'm like the only one who hasn't had any big cravings. Thank God.
Yeah.
I've been pretty good. Like I know I had a takeaway yesterday, but it was still within my deficit, which is all good. It wasn't crazy, but the only reason I did it is I went to the fridge and I was just like, there was pretty much bug all to cook, and I was just like, I really fancy a Chinese. Went to the cupboard, there was a jar of sauce, like sweet and sour. It was like 4 years out of date. I was just like, no, I'm not going to risk that one. So in the end, because there was nothing, I was just like, I'm just going to have a takeaway, but it wasn't high in calories, which was good.
We did go food shopping this morning, came home, and we are literally pulling all of the out-of-date jars, out-of-date pasta, all of this.
Doing it.
I pulled it all out. It sat on the side. Mum's like, who's taking care of this? And I'm like, bye. I'm going
No,
upstairs
You
now.
left it to go out of date. That's your problem. We just got it out.
Ag.
Yeah.
That was it bad? Because
There
I
was
know.
loads. If one of our cupboards, if you had one of the trays, it's pretty much a whole probably trays worth of
Really?
food. That
It's not
Volume-wise.
the worst it could have been. Bearing in mind, during COVID, we got a new kitchen installed. So I'd already had to go through the process of removing all of the out-of-date stuff, or soon-to-be out-of-date stuff. So it's not as bad as when it was then, because that was boxes. That was boxes full of out-of-date food. And I recently had gone through and done my cupboard, and I was like, man, there's so much. There was like out-of-date jelly. I was like, oh, okay, don't. You could see the discoloration in it. I was like, no.
Because I've done it before, obviously when I used to live at home, and then I still do it sometimes when I'm over at my parents' place. They'll be like, oh, do you mind looking for this for me? I'm like, yeah, sure, and I'll just pull something out, and I'm like, this is 6 years old.
Yeah.
Why is this here?
Yeah, but you know what? This seems to be a common occurrence in households, because I was watching a video, I think it was on Instagram, and it was them doing a purge of their mother's kitchen, and she has like hot sauce that's 15 years old that she's still using. And I'm like, how? And she won't let it go. She's like, no, it's staying. I'm like, why?
I think
Like,
for
that
a lot
can't
of
be
it,
good.
9 times out of 10, meal plans are not kept to. So it's just the case that you go to the shops, you kind of buy what you think you're going to need, and then if it's jars and all that, 9 times out of 10 you might not use it, forget about it, and it just sits there.
Yeah.
Like for you, Simon, being on your own, you're just like, you're feeding for one, you kind of got your set meals and all that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to our house, it's just like, okay, we're kind of feeding for 4. We're just going to put in what we think we're going to use, and then hopefully it gets used. It's just like
it's not all for everyone's eating the same meals every day as well, is it?
Yeah.
It's like meals for like a separate people too, so you've got to add that in. Still.
Well, that's why places like Hello Fresh and what's that other one? Gusto was one of them.
Not Blue Kitchen.
Because there's a few which are different. There's the ones that you get that do like the meals are already prepped and you just have to heat them up. Not necessarily those ones, but HelloFresh where they give you like
The ingredients.
specifically the ingredients and it's just like the ingredients
how much
that you need.
you've got to do all the prep and cooking and all that. So
Which is fine. I get it. You know.
I think it's good as well because it's teaching you. Because a lot of people, like, you get a lot of young'uns who don't know how to cook. A lot of them just live off takeaways. So for HelloFresh, it's just like you can actually learn basic skills from it and learn recipes and how to develop yourself.
For a lot of people, you end up having the same thing every week, and with the HelloFresh, you have the option to change it out and try new recipes and learn something new. And it's not going to be a bad recipe. They'd never give you a bad recipe. That's not how they work. So they've had tried and tested recipes in there, which is like, oh, you can.
Well, they're going to rely a lot on like their customer feedback, and it clearly works because of that needs to be a sustainable model, and the fact that just being able to provide ingredients from wherever they source them, obviously, that then helps potential local businesses or farmers or whoever it may be. So I can see the benefits to it, but there is also then the element of like paying for something you should be able to do yourself.
Yeah.
Has anyone here ever done one of those? Like,
I've had one,
okay.
and it's because the only reason I had it is because our neighbours were out on holiday and they forgot to stop it, so it was literally in a nice frozen ice box the way it comes delivered. So it's just in a concealed box. You open it all up. There's like ice packs and stuff like that, and they were just like, well, we want it to get eaten. We don't want it to just sit there and get wasted. So they phoned us up whilst we were on holiday and be like, can you take it, use it? Like, you don't have to pay for it or anything like it. So gave it a try, and the food was actually like, it was like a salmon dish. I can't remember it exactly, but it was really, really nice. Like, so
you have to shoot.
I think altogether, the cooking prep time between 45 to an hour. So it's not the most complicated meal. It's just because it's the first occasion thing. It took a little bit longer. But I feel like if you was on the regular, you kind of knew the recipe. You could probably have these meals down in like half an hour, kind of thing.
I mean, standard cooking, like standard time you're going to be prepping or something anyway, could or cooking, prepping, whatever. It would be an hour, maybe in some cases more than, depending on the dish that you're making.
That's it. It really depends on what it is, because I swear by like batch cooking, meal prepping, whatever the hell you want to call it, right? I will always, like every Sunday, apart from today because I've already done it, but I'm cooking like a tray of chicken fillets, and literally all the prep that goes into that is, tray, fillets, rub, oven. Like it's very quick, very easy, very simple. Then you're just waiting on it to cook. But that's because it's, well, ingredients is amount of spices, right?
Yeah.
So, bit of a cop-out answer, but it works.
You do what works best for you in your environment. For me, I can only do a couple of days at a time because I don't have the fridge room because, there's 3 other people in the house. So I can only do a couple of days and then come back in a couple, like on a Wednesday. If I do it with Sunday, I come back on a Wednesday, prep everything for the next 2 days. Or if I'm lucky, I might, by that point, there might be a little bit more room in the house. But it depends, and then it depends on how busy the kitchen is as well.
Have you got a large kitchen?
The only problem with us, like me, Kirsty, and my mum, we'll all kind of alternate. So it's just like if I'm in there, mum and Kirsty won't come in. My dad, on the other hand, he'll just come in, take up all the space, and this is just to do stuff for the dog.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
it's the biggest.
oh no, the dog's hungry. I've got to stop what I'm doing, and I've got to feed the dog. It's just like bloody hell.
The dog can wait. The dog can wait. He's not going to starve. Just entertain him for a while. Wait until we're done doing it. You can have as much counter space as you want to. Literally, it's pour 2 cans of dog food. Cut up cheese. If you saw what the dog eats as well, you'd cry.
Hang on. Do I need to start a Kirsty's Corner timer?
No,
no.
You know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's just Dad and the dog is a big frustration, and Dad's got to have surgery a couple of weeks' time. And Mum was talking about someone's going to have to feed the dog because of how their plans were going to form out. And I was like, well, Dad's going to get really upset if it's me that's feeding him because that dog's going on a diet. So good luck to him, because I can get the dog's weight, Dad. Dad just needs to understand he's a fat dog. No dog should be over 55 kilos. Like, he's a big dog. Okay, yeah, this turned into a Kirsty's Corner.
I'm glad there was the realisation, because it was like, you know the toys where you pull the string and you just let them go? That was me. I'm just sitting here like, this string's pretty long.
Yeah, no, you know what? Someone done.
There was at some point I had an idea on what I was going to talk about. It's gone. Gone completely.
I was listening to the wine. It's just like, huh?
Getting more and more high pitched. I heard it. It's fine.
Is that my tinnitus or like?
Yes. No. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway,
I feel like we've covered a bit of binge eating then, because obviously you mentioned about talking about binge eating.
Yeah, I mean, because it's one of those things that obviously people could have their triggers, and I know we touched upon it last time only because the only reason I remember it is because it came up in editing talking about being an emotional eater. I've never been one to turn to drugs or like
alcohol.
I can go out and have a drink, but I've never drank to cope.
Yeah.
I think I nearly did like a couple times, like a good few years ago, and I remember I was sitting at home watching something. It's like 5 p.m. and I'm like on my 3rd bottle of cider. I'm like, this shit's depressing. How do people do? Like, obviously, people's circumstances are different. But
different
I was like,
mindsets as well.
Yeah, exactly. But I was like, this is just not So I've never turned to that, and food has just always been that thing.
See, that could also be a genetic thing.
Maybe. I think the reason why as well, sometimes whenever I do have those cravings, and this could be completely off the mark, but I think when I have the craving, I gravitate towards sweet. One, because it's immediate. Like you get the sugar factor that you don't necessarily get as part of savoury products, and part of that is because my mum is a diabetic, so it that could be related. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
no, it's a lot. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of research into it with genetics, and you're being more. There's a word beginning with P. I can't remember it, but you're more if you're prone to becoming an alcoholic if you have someone in your family that you have a genetic relation with,
right?
If they're an alcoholic as well and things like that. So yeah, for me, I found out there's a genetic trait that is with America calls it cilantro. We call it coriander, tasting like soap.
Yeah.
For me, it tastes like soap.
Same.
Can't stand it. Genetic trait.
Gross.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of coriander. It's just got a weird taste. No, If I have to, I'll eat it. But
I'm trying to
if
think
it's
of
like
the
sitting
last-
on top, I'm just like.
I'm trying to think of the last time I had it. Like, I know I've eaten it. Like, I
Yeah.
can definitely know I've eaten it, but I couldn't tell you if it had like a distinctive.
It
For
frustrates
some
me.
people, it tastes like nothing.
They all make.
It's just, but for other people, it's just
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm in the it tastes weird kind of
I'm gonna
scenario.
buy some coriander and I'll.
He's just gonna,
Yeah,
he's just
let
gonna
us know.
buy and just start
You'll let
chewing.
us know.
Yeah.
You'll let us know.
I'll just get one like the seasoning things. I'll just be shaking it into my mouth like.
Yeah, it's like when I'm at work, they make some really lovely dishes that have got like lovely flavour, and then they come in and they sprinkle on all of that coriander that they've already mixed in there, and I'm like, oh my god, I've now got to go and pick around what I'm eating because it can't with the soup.
The same could be said for a lot of seasonings though, because like me and Simon are huge fans of cinnamon, but
Oh.
Kirsty
Yeah.
on the other
I
hand,
love cinnamon
she
too.
just doesn't like it.
Well, this was kind of it. So there was an idea that I can't remember when it was. It was like some point last week, and I was going to make French toast, and I make my French toast with cinnamon. So there was the idea as well that obviously you were going to be here, and I was like, I can make the French toast, but I'm going to have to mix up your shit separately because for me the cinnamon is non-negotiable. It goes on.
That's that's fair. Like I'm not gonna make you not have something that you enjoy, but it's just really bad because there'll be George at work and he'll go and get himself a coffee, and to make himself a little bit happier, he'll go and sprinkle cinnamon on it, and then he'll leave the jar of
That's a good
cinnamon on the
shout.
desk, and I'm like, George, can you
It'd have to be
do
like a
that?
sweet cinnamon
Even
coffee,
the
but that's
smell of
just
it,
a
you're
shout.
like,
It's
never considered.
never considered.
No, there you go.
Because what you
Pro
might
tip.
do is do like a mocha or something, and you'll add a dash of cinnamon on
that's
top.
not going to happen.
But
because-
yeah, give yourself a coffee, add some cinnamon, see how you feel about it.
But people who drink mochas are people who think they want coffee,
I don't want coffee.
but they don't.
I just want a hot chocolate.
You kind of want the
That's
chocolate
what I
more
mean.
than
Yeah.
anything.
Just have the hot chocolate.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it's the
Just
best
get
of both
that.
worlds. I like coffee and I like chocolate. Put it together, smash.
But also, like, it's one of those things. Over the years, I've definitely become a coffee snob. I really have. Like about like qualities of coffees and things like that. So it is the element, you know, when I see people going to Starbucks, like for me, they're ordering a dessert over a coffee. You know, your fucking iced venti caramel drizzle marshmallow pump.
What are you looking at me for?
That's what we got you last time, isn't it? But they put coffee in your frappe instead. When you ask for it without, and they put coffee in.
We're sitting in the car because I don't drink coffee. We're sitting in the car and I'm like, I smell coffee, and she's like, yeah, it smells like coffee, and I'm like, I think I taste coffee. She's like, yeah, that tastes like coffee. I'm like,
You still drank it though. You're like, I'm gonna have my frappe.
yeah,
I mean,
and then
you
you had to
paid
deal with me
for
after.
it.
Yeah.
And it's especially as Starbucks is not exactly cheap, is
No,
it? So it's just like I can't waste
We'll
it. Or Costa's
clarify.
not exactly
It's
cheap.
Costa. No, it's not cheap. If I'm doing a hot chocolate, it's Costa. Starbucks, Pret, too bitter. It's just too much. No.
See, that's the thing. Pret
Amazing pastries.
does have very good pastries. We'll give it that. But I do also find like their coffee is a bit bitterer. Sure.
It's bitter.
Sure. Mo bitter. Then you know, like a Costa or a Starbucks. And for me, if I'm having like a black coffee, that's what I want. Like I want that to like taste like the dirt it's grown in.
Sure.
You know.
Okay, you want bean juice.
You like it earthy.
Oh, I do.
whilst
He wants dirt
I'm
water.
the opposite. Like I like a coffee, but mine's gonna be weak as fuck.
See, it's also quite interesting because I work closely with our coffee suppliers at work. It's just so ironic because I don't drink coffee, and they're like, "Oh, this has got hints of like orange and dark chocolate." We have the coffee at home, and I was doing Mum a coffee yesterday. I was like, "It smells like licorice. Like, is it normal that it smells like licorice?" Seriously, I opened it up and I was like, "Yeah, licorice."
Does it smell like licorice?
He's probably like, "No," but I get hints of everything. Maybe it's because I have to do.
Like coriander and soap.
Do not mock me. I will remember this.
I think it's because maybe where you had COVID, you know, ketchup tasted like metal to you, didn't it? And then
It was.
Because it's got quite a bit of iron in it inside.
It was really weird. If anything was cooked in the oven, smelt of metal. Ketchup, couldn't have that on my plate, smelt of metal. The only time I didn't have an issue with food was when we went to Greece in the September of
Yeah,
2020,
I
and
remember that.
everything
and you,
was fine. And
The fact is, they probably
Came
had a
back,
kebab kind of
straight
thing out, which was cooked on a metal skewer.
Yeah.
Doesn't taste like metal.
Do you know what? The food. When we went to Athens, we were so lucky because it was at that time period in September when you didn't have to quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
It was only if you went to the islands or the party islands, then you would have to quarantine.
Yeah, there was like those few places that were like high
Yeah,
really
Santorini,
yeah.
some other places as well. So we were in mainland Athens, and it was so beautiful, but you could definitely tell that they've been struggling with COVID. And we sat there in the sun, eating pasta. Oh, it was so good. Did you?
We had a lot of salads as well on that holiday, and
Lost weight on that
they
one.
do a good salad. Greek salad's much better than British salad.
I mean,
Drunk on a rooftop.
I mean, our salads are plain as anything.
That's what I mean.
Greek
There's
salad.
They're
nothing
not
good.
special about our
No.
salads. Whilst
No.
if you go to like France or somewhere like that, they're
That's
so
what I was gonna
exotic,
say.
and they got the really nice dressings. And
Like,
ours is
I'm
plain, or we tried to imitate, and it's just.
not
Yeah.
someone who eats salad like, at all ever. But here's the thing.
Wait until you
I
become
know.
a vegetarian for
I
your
know.
husband.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, like, obviously, 90% of the time I see like English salads, right, and our stuff just looks like wilted and sad,
yeah.
right?
The-
I remember when I went to Spain, and like even me looking at salads, I'm like, that visually looks good. Like for me, food needs to have a sex appeal,
Yeah.
and it's rare for that to happen, but that looks pretty good.
It was real good. It was up on the beach.
It's like crafted spaghetti. Wasn't a salad as well, so it's totally off topic.
No, I managed to take some photo of food there, but there was a cafe that did these desserts that we went back to twice. Oh, like just look at the chocolate, the ice cream. It was hot. It was September. And it was like 35 degrees, and it was just.
I feel like you need to stop looking at them because she's
Yeah.
smiling. And I feel like the cravings are gonna hit. She's gonna be like, "I need something
I was
now."
going to
I'm gonna-
say,
I'm not
I
gonna
feel
lie, I'm
nothing.
so hungry anyway.
Why didn't you have lunch?
Because I'd eaten at like 11 o'clock.
So.
now you see, my theory was with that, but it got to about 2, and I was like, okay, I'm thinking mentally. I'm like, okay, so we're recording in like an hour and a bit, and the recording's going to be like an hour and a bit. So then I'm jumping through hoops in my head, and I was like, I got to eat. I decided at 2 o'clock I got to eat because I'm hungry now. By whenever we get
I'd
done,
be starving.
exactly, and I'd rather not get to that point.
Yeah, I was fine, like leaving the house, but then I sat with Amy's bread on my lap the entire way, and it's a tiger loaf, and it just smelled so good, and I genuinely was like, she won't notice if I nick some.
I mean,
Maybe.
Well,
she
you
will.
could have taken one at the middle because that
Yeah,
way you
then you
never
wouldn't
would have known.
know.
But if you
Yeah.
would have taken one at the ends,
Although
100%
this
would've
one would have dobbed me in it anyway, but like, she was eating that bread on the way down.
I mean, I wouldn't have minded if you took a slice.
just a slice.
You say that now, I'm going back out.
Snacking bread, you know who does?
Snacking
But
bread's the best.
It's
I know.
like yesterday when we went up to London. We were going up for bottomless pizza, and so you didn't eat much beforehand.
No,
did you?
I'd had breakfast around about 9 o'clock, and I made it a little. I had like yogurt, granola fruit. I had put some Jim Jams in it. You know, I made it bigger than what I would usually have.
But then you got to pizza, and the pizza was late coming out as
I
well.
was mad about that.
And then you get like, but then I think that generally you then eat more than you would normally
I
because
didn't.
you're so hungry.
Yep.
You
I
just...
didn't. I didn't.
Yeah, but
I
you know,
know the
like, where
pizza
It,
was
it can
good,
lead to
but
that because when
Yeah.
you've got a
Then-
big cravings, you just want to
then
fill that void at that
everyone
moment
was
in time. But if you was to have
like,
the little snacks just to keep yourself afloat,
Yep.
you're not gonna have that
Yep.
that big.
Kirsty takes the mick out of me, right? Because I carry snacks on me all the time.
It's so good just to
All
stop them
the time,
cravings.
Yeah, and so like we went on holiday to Ireland, and the whole time I was like, she'd turn around and I'd be eating something, and she was like,
This
"You
was
eating it?" I was like,
also-
yes, because I eat little and often, so that I don't
Yes,
get to a meal
this
and
was-
then just shove it all in my
This
face.
was also at the time when you was at the height of your training and things like that, and I'm
Yeah,
pretty
I
sure you
trained a
had
lot.
like a triathlon in the
Yeah.
run up as well.
Mm.
It got to a point where the holiday was just me every 2 hours trying to figure out where we were going to go and eat next because I had to find somewhere that was vegetarian and that you would eat at. I was like, okay, and it has to be close by, and we hit like the same like restaurant I think a couple of times in one day. But there was also there was like a vegan yard,
Oh yes,
and they
yeah,
did like
the
the waffle
vegan
cone
fish.
and stuff
Oh,
like
that was so good.
Yeah. So I had to just always be on point and be like, right, okay, I have 2 hours until she next has to eat. Let's go.
But yeah, but that's why I eat little and often, because otherwise I end up overeating because I get so
Yeah.
hungry.
No, it makes
you know,
sense.
Yeah.
Because I know as well, like, if I hadn't eaten, I'd be sitting here, like, you know, I'd still be engaged, but at the back of my mind, I'd be like, man, I can't wait, because then I'm going to eat this, and I'm going to eat that.
There's that bar there. You'd be eyeing
I'm
it up.
staring
being
at
like,
it. I'd be staring at it. I won't lie.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
so
mine
because you
too.
haven't really like, but
Let's go.
like starting this, I was always one for skipping skipping breakfast and stuff like that. And when it come to lunch, I would just eat and eat and eat. And then by the time I've finished eating, I've gone through like a packet of cookies, like packet of crisps, a sandwich. I would have just eaten
Now I know.
well too much. But now I'm having like a proper set meal plan. So I'm
Yep.
having breakfast,
Yeah.
lunch and dinner. And so because I'm not like having that big gap between, I have no need to binge. I'm just like, and if I've got a snack, I've made sure that I've bought some really low calorie snacks, like
Yep.
the proper corn sweet and
Yeah.
sweet and salty popcorn. It's like what 72 calories or something like that.
Yeah.
It's it just ties you over until you know you're gonna have your big meal.
Believe it or not, snacking isn't bad. It's just about
No.
making better choices.
Exactly.
Yes,
Right.
no, have your snacks. Everything in moderation.
As long as you're
like,
within that deficit.
Yesterday,
Yeah, if you're trying to lose weight,
Yeah.
Amy had a snack and I mine up her snack on the train down. So she was very kind and gave me one of her little square biscuit bits. And then the food was late coming out. Well, not late, but they were obviously doing it in rotation. And then everyone wanted to go into the ball pit. And by the time we came back, they were like, "We're not serving anymore." I was like, "No."
Okay, because that was going to be my question.
Yeah.
Because when somewhere says bottomless,
Would have been if I was there.
well, no, because here's my thing, right? Places advertise themselves as bottomless, but in like the fine print, they'll say, only so
Yeah.
much, right? Which is obviously you're then lying. So I was going to ask, is it actually bottomless? So
It
by the
probably-
sounds of it, no.
It probably would have
Or
been,
would it have
in
been
that in that
time
2 hour
period?
in that
Yeah,
2 hour time period. It probably would have been, but that you also have the ball pit and people want to go and get in the ball pit. What was amazing was the fact that your drink wasn't even finished before it was being filled back up, and by the time I got
That's
home,
good service.
I had a
It's
headache
good service,
like you wouldn't
but
believe.
it's intelligent.
It's dangerous
Because they make more profit, or not more
Probably from the
profit,
drinks,
but
right?
what they're doing is, they clearly the profit margin is on the drink rather than the food.
Oh yeah.
So what they're doing is they're keeping you full with the liquids. You don't eat as much, and therefore that.
I mean, I didn't drink, but I only had 4 slices of pizza because I wasn't overly hungry.
It's because you had the snacks.
Yeah, exactly. Because I snacked.
At one point, the lady came round and she was like, "What pizzas do you want?" And I was like, "It would be it would have been
All of them.
really like greedy if I turned around and said, right, can we get 2 of the margarita and 1 of the barbecue chicken?" I was like, we're just gonna have to get like the one, and then everyone was like, "Let's go to the ball pit." And I was like, if I sit here, I can get more, but then I miss out on the ball pit. So I was like, right, okay, ball pit. And then when we left, we went and stopped off at M&S and I got my sandwich.
This just sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Mhm.
I'm hearing alcohol.
Yeah.
I'm hearing pizza.
Yeah,
I'm hearing ball pit.
yeah.
And 30-something-year-old women. This is just a recipe.
There were some great people out yesterday.
There was. It was real lively. What was shocking was the 20-something-year-olds on the table opposite us that at one point were up on the booths or something, and they were having a
Yeah.
great time, and I was just like, oh, to be that young.
Can you imagine going out and being social?
No, it was like there
It
was
was
there was
exhausting.
there was a lady next to us, and she was like, "Oh, my legs don't go up that high anymore." I was like, I don't think mine ever went that high to begin with. Like the girls were like, "Legs up there," and I was like, "What the hell?" It's like, crack on. And then at one point, someone brought out a trumpet.
Yeah.
There was a
It
trumpet.
was good fun.
This sounds more chaotic than Lee Stag Do.
It was real good. To be honest, the pizza
The
was
jackhammer.
really, really good as well. 100% would go back for
Yeah,
that
that
barbecue
was
chicken.
nice pizza.
Yeah.
Well, should we put you out of your misery and should we try a protein bar?
Let's try a protein bar.
So,
I
for
feel
those
like Kirsty's
curious-
going to be up me first.
For those curious, we're dabbling with segments. So we do have another Contagious Key for this episode, which is mine. I wasn't scrambling and didn't forget. But figuring in the essence of, what is popular in the fitness industry, the protein bar. So Amy has graciously purchased at vast expense a protein bar.
Yeah.
What we got?
So this protein bar was recommended to me in Holland and Barrett's. The lady at the counter. Being a vegetarian, it's really hard for me to come by protein bars, good protein bars. And this one's vegetarian. And she recommended it, so I thought it was on offer. I'm going to get it so we can try it. I've never tried this. It's called the Plant Bar. Sorry, no, it's the bar with plant on it. But it's by PE. I don't know what that stands for.
Physical education.
But it's of the brand PE. I assume they do a protein powder too, but I'll let Kirsty
I'll tell you one
open
thing it does potentially stand for, but I don't
Do you
think it
know
relates
what?
to the bar.
It's a Holland and Barrett owned bar.
Ah.
I was going to say, I'm like, are you implying that a representative of a company was trying to upsell you on something? Ain't no way.
Yeah.
I will say, it does say, once opened, consume immediately. Excessive consumption may cause a laxative effect.
Yeah, that's the sweetness in it.
What kind of stats are we looking at here? Before you destroy them.
Okay.
Before she one bites it.
Yeah.
It's up top.
Okay, do you want it?
Oh, I'm doing it. Okay, so per bar, 65 grams a bar. Calories 198. Fat is 4.4. Carbs is 21 grams. Where's the protein is 20 grams.
For a 65-gram bar, I mean, just under 200 is not bad.
That's not bad at all, actually.
I recently got
Oh, it's
the
melting.
Grenade Oreo bars, and I wasn't sure if they were like vegetarian ones or not. I didn't look, but they were like 230, 240. It's got that like vegetarian like
Density.
protein bar consistency to it.
It
It's
smells
just-
okay.
Oh no!
There we go. So what we got? Hold on.
Oh, I smell the raspberry.
One thing we haven't done is really. I was going to say, did we say the flavour?
It was chocolate and raspberry.
Chocolate and
Oh,
raspberry.
yo! It smells exactly like, you know, Quality Street.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
it
the
does.
straw one, yeah.
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 I have that dry.
I got that vibe immediately.
That's real dry.
I mean, it will be.
There was something else that we used to get that was a raspberry. No, it was the
Grenade.
Yeah, maybe.
They do a vegetarian raspberry
Okay.
and chocolate protein bar, and that is the best one that I found thus far.
Okay. This doesn't have the
Taste-wise.
initial chalkiness you get from like
No.
like comparing it to like a Grenade. Let's say they're the ones I'm the
Yeah.
most familiar with.
Mm.
Other bars are available. I didn't get that initial chalkiness, and the flavour isn't
Bad.
not bad. Like I'm not saying that it is bad. It doesn't punch you in the face. There are certain
No.
things
It
like
goes, as soon as it touches your tongue, it becomes quite, not dull, but the flavour just drops.
Mm.
But when it comes to the end, the sweetness like reappears.
Mm.
It's really bizarre.
I think I'd struggle to eat the whole bar on dryness. For me,
Yeah.
it's quite
I agree.
quite a
I
lot.
agree.
It like absorbs all the saliva in your mouth.
Mm.
It's just like, it's made me quite thirsty actually.
Ellis, kitchen. Glass of water, please.
I'm not gonna lie. For me, who likes to look at ingredients over most things, this ingredients list is very long, which immediately makes me suspicious. Like I
That
don't
is
like.
always a concern. Like that's
Yeah.
the okay. So this was this was created in a lab somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I think what we might need to do is do a homemade protein cookie,
Mm,
like the one that I sent you yesterday.
absolutely. See if we can make our own ones that are better.
Yeah, the aftertaste isn't that great.
No.
No, do you know? I was thinking that as I kind of had like the larger piece. I'm sitting there like,
Yeah,
this
It's-
isn't.
it went flat. It peaked a bit, and then it's just like the aftertaste
Yeah.
afterwards is just completely like.
For anyone
Not great.
curious and tracking calories, a quarter of that bar is obviously going to be about 50 grams. So put that on the app. It's got to be there. It's got to be there. Yes, I'm that obsessive.
Do you mean 50 calories?
Yes.
Yeah.
What did I say?
50
grams.
grams of
Right.
white stuff.
50 calories, yeah.
Yes.
About 5 grams of protein.
Okay. Do you know what? Yeah, I've had a way worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've had
See,
way
I've never
worse.
really
worse.
dabbled in protein bars, so I've got nothing to really go off.
Yeah.
I've had a
But
few.
as a first bar, I wouldn't go back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a big lover of protein cookies, and there was one in
Yes.
particular that Superdrug did.
The crispy one, we had like
Yeah.
the crispy inside.
Oh
Oh,
my
yeah,
God,
that was
yeah.
good. It
That
didn't
one
have that
was.
weird taste either.
Gotcha.
It tasted like a cookie.
And it was probably just because it was full of all the things that your body wants and not a lot of the protein, but they marketed it as
No,
a
it was
protein
a
cookie.
protein bar,
Yeah.
and it was really nice.
Yeah,
But they
yeah.
discontinued it, and I was very sad because I used to love those. We both did. Didn't
Yeah.
we?
Because I've dabbled with grenade bars, a lot of different grenade bars, like various.
Yeah.
I've probably had about 8 of the different flavours, and some of them more than others, but definitely with them you can taste the chemicals, the science.
Yes,
You know?
yes, absolutely.
And they are of the higher end in terms of calories. My personal go-tos, which I will have a look and see if they're vegetarian. If they are, I'll definitely grab them. Is my protein wafers.
Okay.
So they're lightly they're lightly dipped in chocolate, and then between the wafers they have like a cream filling, and obviously the cream is where like the protein or like a powdery kind of filling. They're really good. I could easily eat way too many of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I did get them. Not for me. For some strange reason, I get a cinnamon taste.
They were the
I've checked.
hazelnut ones. You got chocolate hazelnut, right?
I get them with the chocolate as well, but I'm assuming it might be something to do with the protein that's in it. I don't know. It might be on the wafer. I'm not 100%
Maybe.
sure, but I get a weird like cinnamony.
I'm going to give that bar because I feel like whenever food is eaten, there has to be some kind of scale, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Not the worst, yeah? No, I have to agree. It's not the worst bar I've eaten.
I mean, it's hard to give it a rating because I haven't had anything to go by. So I'm pretty much going to go like middle-ish, like 5.5. That's kind of my guideline for now, but it could change from when I had something else.
Well, yeah, I mean, because that's the thing, obviously, for someone who's never had like a protein bar before, it's harder for you to grade.
Mhm.
But you can immediately think, like, what's it
like?
like?
It wasn't great. It was the worst.
Yeah.
But it's not something I
Literally
go for.
bang average.
Yeah.
It's one of the things of, if you were hungry and it was the only thing, you would eat it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You would
Fair
only
enough.
get halfway through the bar.
I wouldn't
and
have
you're like,
paid
I don't
for
want to
it.
eat this anymore.
Good
Yeah.
thing.
And I didn't.
Good thing we didn't.
Do you know what? I'm going to stick with Ellis on the 5. It's mid to me. But
I personally would probably go for 4.5.
Wow.
I'd dock a half a point just purely because the ingredients list, for me, there's way too many like fake stuff in there.
You kind of
But
want it to be more natural.
Yeah, but personally, obviously, that's what I prefer to go for. Like, some people don't care about that sort of thing.
And
so,
that's going to be the basis for most protein bars.
Yeah.
Anyway, unless you go for like one of those like all natural, like it's only made.
and that does taste like chalk.
Yeah.
The completely natural stuff. Yeah.
Some of
is
them
really
as well.
hard.
The consistency are like.
Mm.
I tried like an all natural. Like, I don't think it was like an all natural plant bar, but it was like all natural ingredients. Like, and to be fair, I looked at the ingredients list. It was only like 7 things, and I just remember being like, "This is the worst." Like, hold on, you're telling me you took the bad stuff out and you made it worse?
Yes.
Huh?
just trying to think. There was that place in near St Paul's that did all of the. Oh dear.
I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10.
The score's going down the long
Indigestion.
hole. We're in the studio.
Yeah, there's a place near St Paul's that we used to go to that was like the cookies and the
Yes.
brownie bars and stuff like that, and the smoothies. Oh, the smoothies were good.
But then it was like protein based.
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
it? It was like a
yeah.
protein
It was meant to be like a
cafe
health.
type thing. Yeah.
Oh, air quote health.
Yeah.
Because you just never know.
Right. I think we got a context.
We do.
Context is key coming up.
I'm going to pivot. So we will move to our context is key.
Oh,
So like I say, I 100%. Oh, yikes. Curse of the white t-shirt.
I can't even blame my toddler on this one.
No, but you
It's
are
all
having,
you.
You are having a day.
Yeah.
So, we're pivoting. Context is key. Like I say, I definitely nominated myself a few days ago. Didn't forget. And remembered about 2 hours ago. However, I have found one.
Okay.
And I think that someone in this room might get it, but we'll see. I've tried all of my techniques to last longer, but just like always, it's let me down.
Okay, straight out the gate, Viagra.
No, it's not.
Not a Viagra.
It's not a Viagra advert.
Or a review, sorry. A review.
This isn't a video that I've sent you, is it? Because I've sent you so many recently.
It's not a video you've sent me.
Okay.
Can you say it again? Sorry.
I certainly can. I have tried all of my techniques to last longer, but just like always, it's let me down.
Is this something to do with health and fitness?
Yes.
Okay. Is it like a pre-workout?
It's not a pre-workout.
Okay.
Is it an actual workout?
No.
Is it cardio?
not cardio. It's not the, like, when it comes to health and fitness, I'll give you one moment. I'll see if Ellis has got anything before I give a clue.
Give me the clue. I need the clue.
It's more to do with diet than exercise.
Oh.
Okay. Is it like a diet shake or something?
You're on the right track.
Okay.
It's probably to stop the snacks.
Yeah. Is
Yeah,
it like...
you're getting there. You're very close.
So is it a review for a product?
It's not a review for a product.
Okay.
Can I have the quote one more time?
You may have the quote one more time. I have tried all of my techniques to last longer, but just like always, it has let me down.
It's someone trying to not eat.
I want to say it'd be like Will Tennyson, like talking about a product. That...
You have nailed it immediately.
Oh.
It is Will Tennyson 48-hour juice cleanse on day 2. He is
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to not eat dinner because he's not allowed to eat dinner before 7 p.m. So he's trying to push out as long as he can.
Yes.
But it gets to about 5 p.m. and as he does, he comes out with sexual innuendo.
Yes. So many.
Yep. He has so many. Just thinking back on it.
No, just watch a video and it's literally the first thing that comes out of his mouth.
I've been going back watching some of his older stuff, and it was from like 2 years ago.
Because there was one that we was watching yesterday, and he was reviewing loads of different protein shakes, and he was just drinking so many throughout this one episode. It's just like, if I was to drink half of what he drank, I would be ill. It was just like he was drinking so many. It's just like,
Was he tasting? Was he just
No,
sipping
he
or
was-
downing?
he was
drinking
buying
the
the
whole
whole drinks. And he had 2 in the morning. He then went to a like a whey protein store kind of thing, and he had 4 then.
Yep.
And then he had more for dinner, and this was kind of like they were like meal replacements like for the shakes and all that, but it was. He just had so many of them. I was just like,
I think for the
that
day,
much liquid as well. Because you know when you drink a lot of milk and it's just like. It's
I
just
think
like,
he was mixing them with water.
He was going water based.
Yeah,
that would
because you raised that question and I wasn't sure, and it's only when he got right to the end there was one that he was blending like in his blender, and he filled it mostly with water. I was like, right, that's
that
smart.
makes more
Because
sense,
if you were
yeah.
doing that with milk,
Heavy.
like yeah,
Heavy.
yeah.
It was just like, and he was just going at it. It was just like, how are you not sick? It's just like, just
Yeah.
watching it was making me ill.
But therein lies the point of the game. It's a deliberate sexual innuendo, but could be about something completely unrelated.
Yeah,
And as such, it was.
yeah, 100%.
Oh, got there.
Yeah,
Done,
that's
well,
your first
yeah.
successful point.
What do
Oh,
you
no.
win? Or I don't. Is there a,
Oh,
yeah.
great
I
question.
get to choose the next protein bar. That's what I get.
I like
If
that.
you can make it vegetarian,
No, sure.
If you can't, that's fine though. Like, I'm not fussed if you guys just try it. You know, I can still review ingredients.
I'll eat her
and
bite.
No.
You're welcome.
I mean, that works.
One bite.
Yeah,
Hey,
maybe
hey.
next week we'll go, or next. Sorry,
That's
next
for
2
that's
weeks.
for episode 4. You
Yeah.
know, we've got to stagger these new
Yeah.
bits of content. Otherwise, we're going to run out of ideas very quickly.
I mean, speaking of the next 2 weeks, there's going to be a lot of social events coming
Yeah,
up.
you wanted to bring this up. Talk to me.
Yeah.
Or us, the room.
Talk
The
to
people.
Talk to the general.
I've never been a talk to me guy. I envy people that have the confidence to answer a call and be like, talk to me. It's like, how do you have that energy? Where do I find that energy?
Well, when I am back in work after my lovely 2 weeks off that I've got now, I will test that theory out with the talk to me on my work
Okay.
phone.
I feel like when somebody says that to me, I'll be like, I don't want to.
You know,
No.
now, I've just decided I don't want to.
Just
Oh,
see
Oh,
ya.
you're a dick. It's like that.
So I currently am on annual leave for the next 2 weeks, and I think I've taken it at the perfect time. Didn't realise, however, that it's half-term holiday. But this is my 2 weeks that I get to go hard in the gym. We'll point that out. But it also means keeping your food on track. And then we also have birthdays coming up, and we're going out to get pancakes on Valentine's Day. We've
Or
also got
Valentine's Day.
pancakes on Tuesday coming up. We've got your birthday. There's Five Guys. There's Toby Carvery. Like all of these things, and it's keeping yourself honest with your food.
Well, that's it, right? Because you obviously will get we'll get to obviously your point of it, but obviously, you know, my whole thing is like, there's this week off that I've got. I'm not going too insane, because there have been times before where I've taken the week off my birthday, and I have literally gone, just, I don't care, what else. I still record it all, because you need to keep yourself accountable, but
Yes.
it's, I don't care. So for this week, I've kind of said to myself, okay, I want a Five Guys, because I love Five Guys, it's my favourite burger and fries, and I want it for the week of my birthday. I want to get a Toby Carvery, because who doesn't love a roast dinner, even though it's not your mum's or your nan's roast dinner, it's still alright, you know. And there was someone else that I wanted to get as well. And I'm
noodles.
No, that came up the other day. That wasn't the thing that I was craving. There was something else.
Hang on,
There's
Five
the
Guys.
Piano Leno that we're going to.
Yeah, there's the Piano Leno, the Mexican place,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
So-
is that the one you was talking about? Because I was going to say, is there something
Well,
else?
No.
That's definitely booked, the Piano Leno.
Yeah, definitely booked, 100%.
Hot
I didn't call them. That's besides the point. But yeah, like it's considering that you're going to be doing that and making the adjustments in the week or you know the surrounding time period. But yeah, sorry, I hijacked. Proceed.
No. They're like happy to have opinions because for me, I messaged you yesterday and I was like, trying to get a time frame of what days we're going to be doing what because I have to be able to meal prep around that and because I'll be coming down to train with you and we'll do whatever with Mike whilst he's down. I was like, I will be bringing food. I'm not going to lie. There is a high possibility that I'm going to be bringing prepped meals with me to make sure that I am keeping myself.
That's a good thing
honest.
though, because when I was hosting a little D&D session and we'd go to Chris's, like all of us would pretty much be ordering a takeaway, bar Simon, and who had a meal prep, and he was just like, no, I'm refusing to. I want to keep to myself, and I'll make sure I'm within my calories. It's just like, bam, he was in control.
Yeah, that's
So,
why.
and
That's why I was like, hey, you know what? We're going to be doing this, but I've got to keep myself, number one.
Yep.
So this is what is going to be happening. So that's why I was trying to figure out last week what days we were doing things, so I could start planning meals around.
Yes, no, I get that. There's also you're going to have to consider that your daily activity is going to go up.
Yeah.
Just by proxy of having to deal with me on a daily basis.
If I
walking everywhere,
I am using week 1 of my time off to get into the zone of there's going to be weights every day. There's going to be walking every day. Take the time, build it up, do a Rhea Ripley's workout.
Rhea Ripley,
Week 2,
let's go.
Week 2, we are doing minimum 20,000 steps a day. We're getting up. We're hitting the gym. We're probably going to be in there for a good 2 hours, I reckon, for at least one workout.
If Mike is tagging along with you, I think that would decrease the time amount.
Or increase it.
It depends on which way it goes. Like, how many sets, the wait time between sets as well. Take the time to train. Yeah. And teach.
I mean, credit as well, like, talking about taking the time. This guy yesterday, he impressed me.
Did he?
He impressed me a lot. He's paying for it today, but he impressed me.
I mean, I woke up in pain with my arms because we had a nice arm and shoulder day yesterday, and where I'm a side sleeper, and I was like moving around on my arm, and then it was just like, this fucking hurts, man. This is so uncomfortable. I was so sore, and I was like walked downstairs, and I was just sitting on the sofa, and I just got this like the massage gun we have. And my dad just looked at me and he just started laughing, just like, pussy, pretty much. Just like,
See, I assumed last night when I got him that he was starting to feel a little bit tender because he was just like, and I was like,
no,
I have not got the energy.
That was because I was hungry.
Oh.
I hadn't eaten since Simon made me French bread, and I was frigging starving, and because I couldn't find anything to cook because it was out of date, I was fucking miffed. I was just like,
so you know when you get really hangry and you end up taking your mood out on others, and like just get the food.
I remember one time coming round and you were really quiet, and I said to Kirsty, I was like, does he need food? I think he needs food.
Always a way to tell. Always.
Yeah.
Show me one person who doesn't get hangry.
Yeah.
Like,
was that the last time you was around? I think it was, wasn't it? And I was super quiet, and that was because of my my spots. It put me like super down, and so. But at the moment, my antibiotics and my cream, my face is looking fucking amazing. It's looking so good, and I'm not in any pain, and I'm buzzing.
He's just absolute baby faced where he's shaved.
Yeah, I thought that might, like, because I'm using a face cream and all that, I thought it might help, like,
Yeah, no, it could.
to get the cream into my
Yeah.
pores a bit more and not have, like, the hair in the way. But after I shaved, I was just like, man, I look so fucking young. I hated it. I was just like, ugh.
So we sit here the same age, and I'm like, this is not. You look closer to 20. I look closer to 40.
I look like I just come out of a fetus.
I will say that's because I haven't bothered to shave in months.
Oh,
Funny.
yeah. But yeah, so we've got a lot of socials coming up.
I'm going to be physically spent because of the training. I'm going to be spiritually spent because interacting with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
I'm gonna be like just money spent.
I mean, there's that element to it as well. There's that element to it as
Yeah.
well. But no, it should be good.
Yes.
I'm excited. And then hey, in a few months' time, we'll get to talk about keeping on track on holiday
Yeah.
because we're going to Spain.
Yeah.
Espanol.
Fiesta.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm
Well,
already like I need to know every location that we're potentially going to go to. I need to know these things.
well, now that I know you need to know, I'm not going to tell you.
Doesn't help me.
Oh no.
I have to be prepared. Like you know this. You've been on holiday with me. I have to be prepared.
As long as I've got factor 50,
Exactly.
I'm alright. I'll
Exactly.
do
One
whatever.
of those
But
umbrella hats.
I'm just
pretty
like-
much,
I
if
need
I
to
walk
know
out in that sun, I'm going to go up.
what's the food locations.
Yeah, trust me. As someone, I had some good factor 50. There's a reason I came back not burnt.
The fact is, last year I went to Downloads and it was hot. And even though I had factor 50 on, I still burned.
Yeah,
And
you
it
were
was
bad.
horrendous. I was just like, what the fuck?
It was how burnt his lips were when he came
My
back.
lips were peeling. I was just like,
I
fuck.
You know when you're looking at someone and I'm like, that's not the same person.
You don't look right.
Did you get your lips done? Because they were so like.
That's actually what happened. He wasn't downloading to get Botox.
Maybe I like got sunburned and then somebody elbowed me in like a mosh pit and it just
Oh god.
To be honest, I am surprised you didn't come back with more bruises than You know.
It was good.
just incredibly like burnt. The crispiest of lads.
You was a singed boy.
Oh yes.
Crispy.
I'm pretty sure I sent. I did send you a picture. And I was
did.
like, I'm so burnt. I sent him a picture and I had my top off, and you just saw
Honestly.
red and then
Honestly.
white. It was like whiter than white kind of thing, and it's just like red.
It's
just
always
like,
because being ginger and fair skinned, I've always assumed I'd be the whitest person I'd ever meet.
Yeah.
And then I met Ellis.
I was gonna say, like genetically, you are both like Snow White pale, aren't you?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
It's just you're very fair. That's it.
Oh mate, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Do you remember we went to Rome, and I put factor 50 on my face, and I done my arms. Missed the bit on the chest,
Yeah.
but where we had the strap for the translator for the audio tour, had a lovely white strap mark
Yeah.
from it. I was like, that's amazing. That was fantastic. That was the day we climbed Vesuvius.
I know. I remember
Crazy.
that every opportunity I was in the shade, I was like, I do not want to get burnt. I'm not a big sun fan. And you were literally like, sun me.
I was reflecting
in the sun.
I was reflecting
All
that
day.
sun. I was just
Yeah,
white
and
and
then you got
glowing.
burnt.
Yeah.
I must admit, I am a lover of the sun. I love the sun.
Oh, wow.
It just doesn't love me.
Yeah. It's a love-hate relationship.
In different countries.
Die.
And in different countries, that sun is amazing. This country is not made for sun
I
at
think
all.
it is the
I
classic
mean-
thing.
When we had COVID, going back to them dready times, because there wasn't any aviation and all that, the weather during that time was fucking
Pollution.
amazing.
Wasn't it?
It was
Yeah,
so nice, and then as soon as all the planes started flying back and all that, it's
Well,
shit.
It's like Vienna has. It is Vienna, isn't it? Where they have the boats down the canals.
What, the gondolas?
Venice.
Yeah.
Venice.
Venice, not Vienna. Why am I thinking Vienna?
I don't know.
But Venice,
yeah.
the all the canals and things actually cleared up. There wasn't the smell. You can see the fish.
They're not dead.
They're not dead.
Jesus.
Man, well, they might be, where
Now.
all the ocean cleared up or whatever, all the pollution. But that was it. It gave our planet a break.
Did you have a question, Ellis, by the way? Ellie, you looked like you were going to say something when we were talking about...
Well, you were saying about going out for pancakes and stuff like that, and I was
yeah.
just like, why go out and spend money when I can make them for you?
Are you offering?
I'll
'Cause
make
we'll
you
come round.
pancakes. And she's like, I want to go out on a little date though.
Well, no,
It's just for the fact you're talking about money and like keeping in check with your calories. But if you know you've got a homemade pancake where it's not going to have loads of oil and stuff like that.
well, if that's the case,
It's
then
just- it's just-
you can make us pancakes. It's just that we were going to go to the brunch time and we were going to get like the Oreo stout, which is like the free pancake. Oh my god, with the halloumi and the.
I mean, I can't promise that, but I can promise you a much healthier alternative.
All right, well then you can come over to us and eat pancakes.
But are you off work? You're not off work.
No, but he works from home.
Oh, okay.
Did you not know? Ellis doesn't move from his chair.
That's why my steppage is crap.
We have a
That's-
treadmill.
I know we have a treadmill, but it's like when I go for lunch, I have lunch, and then it's just like, and then I'm by my desk, and then
You're
when it
just
comes
scrolling
to
TikTok.
finishing work, it's just like I'm just gonna play video games with the gang. I'm just like,
On my
I want
phone.
something fun to do. I don't want to walk.
The thing is that when there's been days that I've worked from home or I get home early, he's just on TikTok. He's just on his phone scrolling. I don't actually.
Doom scrolling.
You know, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or he's laying on his bed and
Everybody
he's
does
scrolling. Or he's
Waiting
watching
for that
anime.
work to come in. It's just like, because working in IT, it's not always like busy, so it's just like waiting for that job
But
to
you're
come
also
in.
meant to be on a part-time basis. So there should be times where you're clocking off at like, doing like 9 till. How
Not for
many,
me.
how many hours of what day are you meant to work?
I don't pay that much attention. It's just for me. It's just like the best way for me to learn is by doing. So when the work comes in, I'd rather do it.
Yeah, you've got a course to do, haven't you?
I think that pretty much sums us all up.
For the
There
work.
was probably something that I was going to bring up, but I can't remember what it was.
There's always 2 weeks time.
2 weeks time. What does 2
Ooh.
weeks time make? 2
When it
weeks
might
time
start.
will literally be my birthday.
Yeah.
So it's probably not going to happen then.
Do we want to
Oh,
go
Oh, unless we do it on the. Oh no, because you're going out on the Saturday, right?
Are you out all day on Saturday?
We'll figure it out. We can do it every. We can do it a week
Saturday.
later or even
Lena.
next week.
Yeah. We can do it on my birthday.
Are you
I
sure?
don't care.
We don't have to.
You just need to get the childcare.
Yeah, but the fact is, unless we have a guest appearance of Mike.
We could.
We good?
We could.
Or, well, to be honest, that might be a great idea because he would have spent a week with us training.
Yo.
The fact is,
Yeah.
well, because
True.
Mike is like, he's not the most avid gym goer, but he has started going more
He
recently.
has.
I think he
So-
said that he's sticking a lot to the cardio.
Yeah, I don't
I think he
see
said
him
that the other
very
day.
much being a weight kind of guy. Like, I'm not a weights kind of guy, but eventually after
You will be.
learning from you guys, because I'm a novice and it's a bit intimidating just being going, oh, let's go for some free weights. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people tend to stick with the machines, don't they, or the
Yes.
cardio.
It's because you've got that safety and security. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Which is,
whilst
you know, fine.
last time we went, we did the old
Deadlifts.
deadlifts. My first lot of deadlifts
Oh.
fucking killed me.
I
It's
mean-
like my whole body is sore.
How many days did you hurt after that?
2.
Sounds
So-
about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Cool.
You did.
We will figure it out.
Alright.
Gucci. All right. Well, hey, if you've enjoyed, drop us a follow. We would greatly appreciate it. And link to our socials will be down below. Please consider dropping us there. I'm sure content will be there. I'd love to say I'd know, but I don't.
There'll be content.
There we
Check
go.
us out.
So, yes. Until next time.
Every 2 weeks.
Okay, bye.
Every 2 weeks.